our Pilates Advent Calendar, and I hope you're all really well despite the news yesterday. Today we have a brand new word, and it is going to be flexion. So all of the exercises that we do today are going to focus on flexion of the spine. So we've done quite a few of them already, so you might recognize some of them, but now you'll see how they're all linked together because we're getting that forward rolling of our spine vertebrae by vertebrae. So it's a fantastic way to mobilize our spines, make them super strong and strengthen our core as well at the same time. So we're going to be starting in standing before we come down onto the mat. So I'd like you to find a position where you're standing with your feet hip distance apart, the weight going down evenly through both of your feet, and you can just feel that your hips are nice and level, so you're not pushing one forward or the other. You'll bring your core muscles in and your arms are hanging nice and heavy down by your sides. Piece of thread pulling it through the crown of your head, and make sure that your toes are really relaxed on the floor in front of you, you're not squishing. So throughout this exercise, we're going to try and maintain that same position of our lower half of our body. It's really going to be tempting to send your bottom back as you roll forward, but try and keep your hips balanced directly over your heels. So we're going to go into a forward roll, and I'm going to show you from the side. I'd like you to imagine that you have a massive big beach ball in front of you here, and you're trying to roll up and over, mobilizing your spine one bone at a time. So rather than a fold at your hips, you're going to be rolling forward. So let's breathe in. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck your chin in, soften your breastbone, let your shoulders begin to roll forward, engage your core, and then one bone at a time, start to roll up and over. Now remember to keep your hips still and keep your feet relaxed. It's so tempting to clutch at the mat. Let your arms and head hang heavy like a rag doll. Breathing in here as you flex your hips, and as you breathe out, open out the front of your hips. So really think about opening out that joint there, rolling all the way up, one bone at a time, and returning to your standing position. Now the first one that you do might feel a little bit strange, but we're going to do a few more times, and hopefully as your muscles get warmer and you get more confident in your roll down, you'll become smoother and a little bit more, more confident. Let's go. So breathing in and out, tummy muscles coming in, arms hanging heavy as you roll all the way down, bringing those toe muscles in to support you. So think about toe muscles coming into your spine, keeping the weight at the center of your foot and hanging long and heavy. So maybe you've got a little bit further down this time, breathing in. As you breathe out, open out the front of your hips, keep your hips balanced over your heels. And then again, one bone at a time, all the way up to the top. Fab. Let's go 3 more times. So we're going to do 6 of these. So make sure that you give yourself a little bit of space between each roll down for the blood to just come up to your head. So if you suffer from low blood pressure or you get dizzy really easily, it's important that you just take a few breaths. Pausing at the bottom here, maybe feeling stretched down the back of your hamstrings, and now maybe finding this is a bit smoother as you roll all the way up. Piece of thread coming through the crown of your head. And we're going to go down for our final 2 roll downs. So again, make sure that your toes are relaxed on the floor. Keep your tummy muscles coming in. Check what's going on with your knees. If you need to bend your knees ever so slightly, you can. You don't need to keep them straight. And we're going to come up one more time. And then we're going to roll down into a 4-point kneeling. So now we're going to walk our hands forward once we've rolled down all the way. So we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. So just a normal roll down, breathing in. As you breathe out, roll forward, toe muscles coming in. Think about that support as you come up and in, folding your hips last of all, and then I'd like you to walk your hands forward and bring your knees down onto the floor so that you're set up in a lovely 4-point kneeling position. So we're going to do some flexion of our spine from this position. So make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You've got lots of space between your fingers, and your knees are directly underneath your hips. So we're just going to do a few little pelvic tilts here. So tucking your pelvis under and sticking your bottom out, just so that we can find neutral spine and pelvis, which is the start position that we're going to move from. Brilliant. Keeping your legs extended out behind you. One more time like this. And now we're going to go into a full flexion by going into our cat. So I like to breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone underneath you, really tuck underneath you, and then roll up one bone at a time. Press the mat away and think about your mid-back going right up towards the ceiling before inhaling to lengthen back to our start position. Let's go again. Breathing out, taking your pelvis one bone at a time, rolling all the way up. Press the mat away. And inhale to extend back. So this is quite a supportive position, and you might find that you get a little bit more movement here because you've got the support of both your hands and your knees, and you need your hands to help press away. So this is fab for the health of your spine again, but also for your bone density because it's a weight-bearing exercise going down through your thigh bones and through your arms and shoulders as well. Bring your head down, extending back. We've got one more cat like this, so we're going to roll all the way underneath. So think about that flexion here. And extending back through to neutral before sending your bottom back over your heels and giving your wrists a rest. So now we're going to combine that flexion with a hinge back. So it's going to feel so nice on your hips to get this movement in. So I'd like you to find that 4-point kneeling position once again. We're going to go straight into our cat, so that flexion of our spine by breathing out, tucking your tailbone underneath you and starting to roll all the way up, head coming back. And then once you're here, as you inhale, I'd like you to maintain that flexed position. As you hinge back, maybe feeling a stretch through your shoulders and send your bottom back towards your heels whilst maintaining that flexion. From here, we're then going to rip our spine back to neutral and flow back. So it's quite a nice movement. We're going to roll again. So tucking your tailbone, rolling all the way up, mid-spine going up towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to hinge back. Feel that stretch of your shoulders, length down both sides of your waist. Breastbone goes forward and you come back through to our start position. Let's go 2 more times like this. Rolling all the way up. Mid-spine going towards the ceiling. Pressing back here. Lots of length through your arms. Breastbone traveling forward. And our last one. Tucking underneath. Rolling back. And then returning through to our neutral position. Before just sitting back and giving your wrists a lovely roll around to get rid of any tension there. Super. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs now and do flexion on our backs. So we're going to start with a normal colour, which you've done quite a few times before, but hopefully now that we've done the roll down and the cat, you can see how you're getting that same movement through your spine. And this time it's going to be focusing on the rectus abdominis, which is that sheet of muscle that runs all the way down our fronts. I'd like you to come down onto the floor so that your knees and feet are hip distance apart and your hands are just clasped behind your head, and you can pick your head up really easily. Your elbows are traveling up towards the ceiling, so knees and feet hip distance apart. Tummy muscles coming in. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, nod your chin in. Keep your head heavy in your hands and one bone at a time. Pick yourself up from the floor. Gaze going between your knees, making sure that your knees aren't falling together. And then lengthen back down onto the mat. Again, one bone at a time. Breathing out to come up again. Tummy muscles coming in. All the way up. Gaze going between your knees. Head heavy in your hands. Lengthen down again, one bone at a time. Breathing out, nod your chin. Coming all the way up. So nothing else in your body is moving. You're just getting that movement from the front, from the top of your head, all the way down through your spine until your pelvis. Coming up and down once again. And we've got 2 more like this. So remember that you're shooting your elbows forward, keeping your head heavy, so avoiding strain in your neck, and you should feel it around your middle here. Last one, coming back down. Actually, we're going to do one more. Why not? Breathing out to come up and inhale to come down. Well done. Okay, so we're going to combine this with a single knee fold. So you're really going to feel how you're moving from both sides of your spine now. So breathing in, as you breathe out, roll all the way up and simultaneously bring one knee up into a single knee fold. So you've got the same position virtually as when you're in cat. Inhaling to lengthen back down. So just pausing at the top and holding this isometric contraction, which is a great way of building that muscle because your muscles are under stress and you're holding it here. Inhale to come down. Great. Let's go again. Breathing out, toe muscles coming in and down as you roll up. Smoothly and slowly coming back down. And again, breathing out to come up. Inhale to come down. And our last one to each side here. All the way up. And down, and our final one, rolling up, trying to keep these movements really smooth and precise, and coming down. And then just to counterbalance all of that flexion we've done, I'd like you to send your arms behind you, Take your feet away and come into a really lovely full body stretch. So reaching through your fingers, reaching through your toes, and really stretching here before pressing yourself up and coming to sitting however suits you. We're going to finish today with 2 big breaths in and out, getting a little bit of spinal extension, the opposite of flexion here. So arms out to the side and breathing in. As you do that, we're going to reach all the way up, reaching them back, feeling your back arch, and press the air away. And we're going to go one more time here, breathing out, reaching all the way up, and press the air away, and give yourself a clap. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a really nice rest of the day, whatever you're doing. The sun is shining, so that's a good thing. And we're going to be back tomorrow for some more 10-minute Advent Calendar Pilates. Take care and see you then.